Stinking thinking. Have you ever heard that before? I think it may have been Albert Ellis, the American psychologist, who coined that phrase. Zig Ziglar used it all the time. It doesn't necessarily matter who coined it, but stinking thinking, negative thoughts, the things that go through your mind that limit you, that hold you back, that create negative emotions of fear, of anxiety, of just shame and guilt, feeling all the hurt and just, sadness and anger. Like, where does all that come from and how do you deal with it? How do you get past a bad case of stinking thinking? Well, let me tell you a fun little analogy here. Share this analogy with you. I want you to imagine that you're driving down the freeway and you're going 80 miles an hour and you're just cruising. And for whatever reason, there's a car in the same lane as you and it's coming straight at you. And you swerve, but you're close enough to the car that you stick your arm out the window and you grab on to that whatever the side view mirror. You grab onto their window and it just yanks you out of that car and game over, right? That's it. That's the end. I love thinking about negative thoughts, right? Limiting beliefs. That's the stinking thinking. I love thinking about those like that. Here you are just going down your road of life, minding your own business, heading to your next destination, and then something just comes straight towards you, almost asking you to play chicken head on. And you swerve, but for whatever reason, you grab onto it. All of us have thoughts that come up that don't serve us. No one is immune from the case of stinking thinking. We all have limiting beliefs. We all are tempted to believe things about ourselves and others in this world that just don't serve us. They're just not true. What empowers those I know best, who seem to just have such a great sense of optimism and a great hope, and that seem to just be happy amidst all of the craziness that's going on around them, is their ability to let those thoughts come and go. They don't stick their arm out the window and hang on to them. So many people begin to identify with the thoughts that they have, as if that is who you are. That becomes a very dangerous practice. You are not your thoughts, just like you are not your body. Wait, what do you mean? Well, check it out. Have you ever been to a funeral where it's open casket? I have. I've been to many. And when you're there, you look at this person you love who's passed on, and inevitably someone will say, don't they look good? And in that moment, you lie, because you're not going to say, no, they look terrible. It's what you're thinking, but it's just not polite. And so you say, yes, they look so peaceful. Well, that's not true. They look awful. They've got makeup on. They're pale. It's not them. What you see there is just the remains. It's their body, their spirit, their intellect, their personality, their wisdom and knowledge. All of that makes up who you are, you as a spirit, as a being. It's not there. If it were, it would be moving and we wouldn't be at this funeral. You are not your body. Your body is made up of elements. And your spirit gives life to that body. That's not who you are. And we can say the exact same thing about thoughts. Thoughts are electrical currents. You can track them on an EEG. It's not who you are. Your thoughts are programmed. 95 to 99% of the thoughts that you have today, you've been having for the majority of your life. They are programmed. They've been planted into your unconscious mind, and they're coming out again and again and again. And you're having the same thoughts, and you're struggling with the same limiting beliefs that you've had for your whole life. So why is it then that we identify so much with our body, right, and our mind? Well, that's become our identity in our world. We are no longer spiritual beings having a human experience. We are like human beings that may or may not be having from time to time spiritual experiences. We have been led to believe that you're only as good as you look and as you think, or as you can create in your mind. Give me your body is the message we get from the media all around us. And if it does something for me, great. And then give me your mind, and if it can help me, wonderful. That's where we've come. And we have been led to believe that this is who I am. I look in the mirror and what do I see? That's me. No, that's not you. I'm going to get really nerdy with you for a moment. I'm going to teach you about some quantum physics. Let's pretend that you don't know hardly anything about quantum physics. And I'm going to explain this as if I was explaining it to one of my daughters who's, let's say, 13 years old, because she is. Okay, quantum is the smallest measurement that we have. Physics are the protons, neutrons, and electrons that make up the physical world, solids, liquids, and gas. So quantum physicists study what's going on at the smallest measurement between everything that we can physically engage with. What's going on at the subatomic level. So all of the physical world around us is made up of atoms, protons and neutrons in a nucleus surrounded by an electron cloud. And quantum physicists are studying what's going on in between the atom, the proton, neutron, and electron. What's in there? And what they have found is fascinating. They have found that an atom is made up of 99.999999999% empty space, and only 0.00000000001% matter, protons, neutrons, and electrons. But there's something acting upon these protons, neutrons, and electrons that's making them move. It's an energy, it's a force. And those protons, neutrons, and electrons are moving so fast that it appears as if the atom is solid, but it's not. Quantum physicists are calling that force, that energy inside that atom, condensed light. There's potential energy that is giving life and vibrancy and movement to all things in the physical world around us. And so quantum physicists are trying to understand what is in that field of potentiality. What is in that source of energy and force and that condensed light? And when you dive into quantum physics, you realize that you really aren't your body, that there is something there that's making everything move. And whether it's the water bottle that I'm holding, the water I'm drinking, the air that I'm breathing, and even the thoughts that I'm having, those thoughts are made up of something more. And when we can set them aside or let them pass by and realize that we are observing the physical world around us, we are observing our body, we're observing what's happening on the outside, we're observing our thoughts, and we're going to get out of their way and let them do their thing, then we don't have to identify with them. This is when you can really quiet yourself, whether it's through meditation or prayer or exercise, when you can turn off your mind and you can become an observer of what it's doing and not identify with it. What happens then is you no longer become at the mercy of or at effect of the causes that are coming because of the thoughts you're having. You get to be an observer. You get to watch them go by rather than identifying with them as that's who I am. As you do so, you begin to lose that attachment to those beliefs and those thoughts, that stinking thinking. You also begin to lose attachment to your body because you are not your body. It's just housing you, your spirit, your being. And then when you recognize that that's not who you are, then you get to decide what to do with those thoughts. Do I want to let them pass by, or do I want to let them smack me straight in the face and knock me out today? Do I want to become a victim of my thoughts? Do I want to become a victim of my body? Am I damned for the rest of eternity to live in this body that I hate? Or can I just watch it and respect it and mold it and make different choices and let it be truly a reflection of who I am? When you're able to do that, you are no longer a victim. You are a victor. It was Viktor Frankl, the great psychologist who wrote the book Man's Search for Meaning, the Nazi concentration camp survivor, one of my favorite mentors who I've never met and can't wait to see sometime on the other side of this life. He said this. He said, between stimulus and response, there's a space. Think about that. Between stimulus and response. Whether that stimulus is someone saying something to you, whether it's a snowflake falling on your eyelash, or whether it's a thought that comes through your mind. Between stimulus and response, there's a space. And in that space lies our power to choose. And in our power to choose lies our freedom. You are free to the degree to which you can enter that space, that you can become an observer as to what's happening in the world around you, that you can observe and create your own meaning and decide whether or not that's something that you want to stick your arm out and hang on to, or if you want to just let it go. You're not attached, getting yanked out of that car at crazy speeds, ready to bring death and destruction to this precious life that you have. You get to observe, and you get to watch those cars and those thoughts, and you get to watch everything pass by you. Detached. Deepak Chopra, another great mentor of mine who wrote the book 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, teaches about this law of detachment. I want to share with you one of the things that he says in this book that has meant so much to me regarding detachment. He says that the law of detachment states that in order to acquire anything in this physical universe, you have to relinquish your attachment to it. This doesn't mean you give up the intention to create your desire. You don't give up the intention, and you don't give up the desire. You give up your attachment to the result. This is a very powerful thing to do. The moment you relinquish your attachment to the result, combining one pointed intention with detachment, at the same time, you will have that which you desire. We have to learn to let go, not only the things that we want, but of everything that's happening, of every thought that we carry. You are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are just helping us identify some decisions that you have made, mostly unconsciously, about who you are in this world and your relationship to it. Now, once you get to the point where you can let those thoughts go, you may find that they still are lingering, and you want to be on a different freeway where there's not so much oncoming traffic that's ready to hit you head on. If that's the case, then you need to take those thoughts, you need to identify where they're coming from. And maybe you need to shift your focus and go in a different direction, into a lane where you don't believe things about yourself that you've always believed. That you need to make new decisions about your worth and the value that you bring to this world. Every negative emotion and every negative thought that you have came because of a decision, probably again, an unconscious decision that you made. And we can change those. We can change meaning by uprooting those decisions and creating new ones. That is a work that I love doing with my clients. I use what's called mental and emotional release therapy. Dr. Matt James taught me and helped me become certified in the work that I do, and I've been able to do it now at the time of this shooting with over 260 individuals, spending 4 to 5, 6 hours going deep and changing decisions that were made unconsciously, creating new beliefs, helping you to feel new emotions, creating new hormones and chemicals, so that you can do the things you've always wanted to do and stop doing the things you have always wanted to stop doing and get results that matter. So today I've shared with you a very powerful and simple way to not get identified or attached with stinking thinking, negative thoughts, to let them pass you by, to not be a participant in those, but to just be an observer, to rise above them, to not let them affect you. And you get to create what you want with those thoughts. You get to create what you want with this body, with this life, with everything that's going on for you. You are in control when you relinquish control and you let go and you detach and you become an observer and you create your own meaning, and you are free to believe and think and to act and to love and to feel what it is that you desire most. And if you're doing that and you're still struggling, then I am happy to help you. Just reach out. I'm easy to connect with. Shoot me an email, at andrewlanderson.com. I'm here to help. And if someone you know needs help and needs this message today, please share this video. Like and subscribe for more depth of coaching that I share every week. I appreciate you spending this time going places to help you grow yourself. Make it a powerful day.